Hey cats, good morning. Almost afternoon. I am trying to go on one of the longest trips of my summer, and I am pulling my travel trailer. You can see it in the mirror there. Um, but I'm stuck in traffic. Apparently there's a train or an accident up ahead. But I've been sitting at a standstill here for probably about 20 minutes now, and traffic just isn't moving at all. So it's hard to see what's around the corner, but there is a major train track right there, and I'm sure that's kind of the holdup, because when I was looking through the woods over here, I could see the train kind of moving really slow. So it's a slow start to my day. I mean, I'm not even probably, you know, 6 miles away from the house, and I'm already stuck at a dead end here. So hopefully we can get rolling here and begin this adventure. I've been on the road now for about 3 hours, and it's pretty smooth sailing. I'm pulling probably close to 5 tons with the trailer itself. And then I got a full load of wood on the truck. I've eaten up a half a tank of fuel, and it's just tugging right along, moving right along. The worst part about being on the highway are the semis, the trucks, and they're just everywhere. So they're blowing by you, they're coming up on your rear end, they're cutting in front of you. A lot of them going well over the speed limit. So I'm trying to just stay the speed limit. That way I don't want my trailer tires to blow. You know, the faster you go, the more risk you're taking for a blowout. So I just maintain the speed limit and everything's good. So it shouldn't be too much longer, and maybe another hour or so, and I should arrive at my destination. Have a few peanuts. I've arrived at camp and spent about an hour setting up. I've got everything, and I'm the only one here right now. I got 2 brothers on their way. My brother Steve said he was tied up in traffic in Columbus, Ohio, bottlenecked. I was lucky. I sailed right through. I didn't have any trouble. Got the fire going so I can cook some burgers a little later. I want that to cook down to some nice coals that I can cook over. I've got the Hemi all set up, got her leveled, got the inside all set up, ready to go. My one brother's going to sleep on the back bed. I'll sleep up in the front on this bed. The back is a couch that, you know, folds out, so he's going to sleep there. So it looks like it's going to be a fun week here. Sharing some time with my brothers. Now, my youngest brother wasn't sure if he was going to come or not, because he had just taken some vacation. It's his own business. He runs his own job. But, of course, he has to focus on work, too. So he's not one just to, you know, run off and leave everybody there every minute he gets a chance. Whether he'll show up or not, I don't know. It's a long drive. And he talked about riding his Africa Twin down here and camping in a tent. But not sure if he's going to make it or not. If he does, that'll be 4 brothers all together here. If not, there'll be 3 of us, and we'll still have an enjoyable time. So let's get the week started. Oh, hey, I should have invited you for dinner. There's still some hamburgers and hot dogs on the grill.
Yeah, speaking of hot dogs.
You're going to get one.
Yep.
I already had a burger, and they were delicious. Steve and I got hungry. We were waiting on Brother Kurt, who's a little behind schedule. And it was getting past dinner time, so we decided just to go ahead and eat without him.
It was definitely a good choice.
Yeah, because he's still not here. I brought some fresh sliced garden hillbilly tomatoes, some onion, some cheese to put on there. We got some baked beans. Let's see, get this open. Some fruit salad. A good picnic. And then I brought some of my homemade garden salsa too. So help yourself.
I think I'm going to put some of that on my dog, actually.
Oh, that would be good.
Idea.
Yeah. I'm taking a little hike. This is an old abandoned park road, but we use it as a foot trail now.
You can actually see, if you look over, how wide the road was, but it's all overgrown.
Caesar's Creek Reservoir.
That is where water.
So this is the old road, comes down, and it goes right into the lake because this is a reservoir, so this was all flooded. And the road wrapped right around the island over there.
Is that off the point?
And as Kurt was telling us, the island is called the Indian Mound.
No, it's submerged. Okay.
You don't want to go in these weeds because there's ticks and chiggers down here. And I'm not up to getting ticks and chiggers. Well, Kurt has led us to another overlook here.
There's no way down right here unless you want to.
Oh, whoa. Look at that.
You want to stay close.
Whoa. That's a drop. I see an old primitive Indian ladder going down there. Beautiful. Just gorgeous.
See the bridge out there on the horizon?
Yeah.
Kind of slight light bluish. That's State Route 73.
Okay.
That's what we got off the highway on.
Mm.
And just over to the right, you see a little green area. Across where those boats are.
Yeah.
That's the public beach.
Okay.
Yeah, not much boat traffic on the lake, too.
That's like about a 20-foot drop there down to the shore.
The water must get higher. Is it just when a storm comes up and beats this or something?
In the spring, when you get a heavy rain, they gotta let it fill way up. You know,
So it would be higher.
yeah, it's gonna really fall, but then they quickly let that out. But it can get pretty high.
It's kind of unusual to have these sharp vents like that, and I see them over there, too.
It's man-made. The only thing about this lake, it's pretty, but being man-made, this was once just a river, Caesar Creek.
So it's all completely man-made,
And they
flooded.
dammed it up, and so we didn't account. I mean, look over there. Just what happens is it just continues to erode, and you get the trees on the top that just kind of.
Huh.
It'll eventually find its new reality, but
Right.
Wrapping up our hike. I don't know how far we went. Maybe 2 miles. I don't know. But the sun's going down. It's starting to get dark. I think we'll make it back before dark. Sausage McMuffins being served this morning. So
look at those
the
babies
sausages
steaming.
were cooked over the fire. The eggs were cooked over the fire. So it's make your own.
Aren't you going to toast it?
Oh, I was waiting for the toaster.
Cheese.
Beautiful morning. Last night it got down into the 40s. It was pretty chilly. We were up probably about 6 a.m. sitting out here by the fire. A little later in the day, so it's warming up quite nicely now. We saw the deer out here walking through the campground. Made coffee inside. If you want coffee, go on in, help yourself. We are at the Great Council State Park near Xenia, Ohio. And this is real close to the actual location of one of the largest Native Indian villages in Ohio that ever existed back in the day. This is Tecumseh. He's a great Shawnee Indian leader. And this building is designed after, it's kind of a modern version, but the Native Indians had a council house in this area that was almost as big as this building. Now, we think of the Native Indians living in teepees and you know, having campfires. No, they actually had structures that they built. It's pretty impressive. Well, I'm going to go inside and see what they got in here. These are items that the English would trade with the Indians. Silver, tools, silk and clothing, dry goods, blankets. This is a wiggle wall, I believe. One of their structures that they would live in. There's a miniature version of kind of what the village looked like here. Way out on the other side of that barn along that tree line is where the Little Miami River is. And on this side of the Little Miami River was the Shawnee village called Kawagotha. And that village spanned over a mile in diameter. Huge. It was like a city. I mean, there's got kind of a picture of some of the village there, so it does resemble a city in itself. Chillicothe, or Old Town, it was called. Kalakafi, Alagafe. There's different pronunciations of it. Now known as Chillicothe, Ohio, but Chillicothe, Ohio isn't near this particular area. This is just north of Xenia. A lot of real interesting stuff here. This shows where the existing tribal nations are in Oklahoma. So you have the Cheyenne, the Wichita, Caddo, Delaware, the Comanche, Apache, Kiowa, Chickasaw, Choctaw, Muskogee, Seminole, Shawnee, Kickapoo, Cherokee, and then this little square is blown up here where you've got all these other ones, the Miamis, the Peoria, the Eastern Shawnee, Ottawa, the Wyandot, the Seneca, and more Cherokee. And it kind of shows what some of these communities are like today. The different Shawnee tribes that are still in existence. You could spend a lot of time here. There's a lot to see, a lot to learn. Timeline of this village here. In 1778, Daniel Boone was captured here. Simon Kenton was captured and held here for 4 days and had to run the gauntlet. That's where the Indians lined up on both sides and you had to run between them, and they hit you with their clubs and their tomahawks, and if you made it to the end, you survived. If you didn't, you'd die halfway down the gauntlet. In August of 1780, the town was attacked and destroyed, burned to the ground by the military command of George Rogers Clark. And he chased the surviving Indians to Piquetown and attacked them again there in 1781. So the thing was to try to eliminate the Shawnee Indians from this area. Sad story, but it's the history of our country. Here's a picture of Daniel Boone. Nothing like the pictures that we've seen of him, is it? I always picture Daniel Boone wearing the coonskin cap. And then this character, Simon Kenton, boy, he was a real frontiersman. In fact, there's a book called The Frontiersman. You should read it because it's a lot of his story and it's just mind-blowing. Cool. We are taking a little adventure here this morning. Somewhere over in there is the reservoir. And of course the reservoir was man-made. Before the reservoir there was towns down here, roads. And when they flooded the reservoir, it cut off the roads. The roads are underwater now. Some of the villages are abandoned underwater. But there used to be a church right here. And this old cemetery was part of the church. Look at these stone walls. Look at these things.
It goes all the way around? It goes all the way around.
And the stone wall goes all the way around, the whole thing.
That was stacked in the 1800s. Isn't that incredible?
Built in the 1800s. pretty cool. So we're just going to check this out for a minute.
These are newer though.
But just one of the things that was abandoned in the process of flooding this Caesars Creek reservoir.
He was a Revolutionary War soldier, and it's the oldest grave in this cemetery. It says died in 1855. He was born, I can't even read it anymore.
Daniel Coletti?
Call it.
Look at these. 1851. $1855. Wow. That one got knocked over.
There are a lot of graves down here that the stones are evidently buried. You can see these ones have all just sort of crumbled. 44.
I can't even read the date on that.
This section down here is the oldest, and this used to be all overgrown. Somebody was cleaned it up the best they could, but
See some sunken areas in the ground, most likely where the graves have collapsed. Like this one, there's a big indentation there. Obviously the caskets have collapsed in on themselves over the years. Another indentation down there. Huh. And most of this back through here is unmaintained, but there's stones back in these bushes in the woods going all the way back that are just completely unmaintained. And then you just have this old growth forest out here. Wow. Wall is all built out of fossilized limestone. It came out of Caesars Creek, which originally was way, I don't know, you can see some of the lake down there through the trees. So that was Caesars Creek down there. So the stone to build this was hauled up from there. And if you look closely, you can see the fossils. There's a little shell there. You can see some shells in there. So all this rock was pulled up from the creek and brought up here. Pretty cool, actually. And the architecture of this, I mean, think how long it took somebody to build this, just to carry all this rock up here and put this all together. And then it's still standing here hundreds of years later. Pretty cool. Wife. Boy. It's interesting. Steve found two down there. It was two children that died, but within a month of each other. So we were assuming that it had to be some kind of an illness or something. One was what, 8 and one was 12?
9 and 12.
9 and 12-year-old. And they died a month apart from each other.
1849, yeah.
Pretty interesting. Brother Kurt's taking on another hike, so it's supposed to be a swinging bridge back here, so we'll see what this is all about, huh?
Not safe.
Oh, they got a rope here to keep you from going over, but look at this. That's got to be 40 foot straight down. The river has eroded the bank out, so we're probably undermined here too. Wow, that's frightening. Well, that rope's going to hold everybody back though.
Very secure.
Well, this is the swinging bridge, I guess. How's it feel, Steve? Oh my gosh, this thing looks ancient. It's actually suspended by steel cables, but
More exciting if there's a lot more water in the creek.
the stream is pretty dried up. Look at all this shale, boy. If I could have that, the walls that I could build. Beautiful. You can find a lot of fossils down there. Whoa, I'm losing my balance. This thing is like tipping all over the place. That's pretty cool though. It springs when you walk on it. It's like doing, doing. Pretty cool. See the swinging bridge way down there. I'm just taking a hike up here because I thought this was cool. Get the layers of shale here that go up probably 30 or 40 foot high, and then all this rubble down here from it. And a lot of it's fossilized. You go down through here and you can see all kinds of cool fossils and stuff. I'm just kind of exploring a little bit up here by myself. My brothers went down the other way, but something cool, pretty interesting. Pretty cool. I mean, if you went all the way up this stream, I'm sure you'd find something really cool. Look at this. Huh. Amazing. And all this stone came from breaking off over the years. That's like an overhang. You can stand underneath there and the storm probably stay dry. Of course, in flood stage, the water comes up here. Look at the handprints. It reminds me of petroglyphs. Pretty cool, pretty cool. Hey cats, what's happening? It is Friday morning, and it's that fateful time of the camp out that I have to break camp this morning. I can see my breath. It's probably in the upper 40s. But the sun's coming up. As soon as the sun comes up over these trees, it'll warm up real quick. Got a lot of dew. I mean, you can see all the dew here. So everything's wet. So I'll start packing up, putting things away. It's kind of a process. Everything has a place. And then I'll hitch up and take the long drive home. Took me like 3.5 hours to get down here, so hopefully I don't hit any traffic, because traffic is going to be the main holdup. And there's some road construction along the way, and traffic tends to bottleneck up in those areas, bumper to bumper. By this afternoon I should be home. And I don't know if you could see that or not, I got a orb web, spider web right here. That's interesting. It was a wonderful time shared with my brothers. Even though each one of us is so different. My brother Kurt, who lives down in this area, a retired doctor, conservative man, but he was our tour guide, and boy, he took us really to some cool places. And then my brother Steve, who's a retired architect, he's way over there in the tent camper. He's a cool dude too, and between the three of us, we had a wonderful time this week. But now it's that bittersweet moment where we all say goodbye. Kurt already took off for home. We had some good camaraderie around the campfire. I burned a truckload of firewood, so that was pretty cool. His wife came and had dinners with us. So life was good. Life was good. Now I'm back to the grind. But I tell you what, my schedule's still pretty full. My cup runneth over with social activity, and I like that. Well, thanks for joining me on this adventure, and I hope you liked the video. Hey, give me that, tap that thumbs up button for me. It helps to boost my channel a little bit. And if you haven't yet, subscribe to my channel, and I'll continue to keep you entertained in the best way that I can. Till next time, cats. I'll catch you all later.